Well guys, I was going to have my cameraman film all of this stuff here today, but instead my GoPro decided to be dead. I know, it's probably my fault. I haven't charged it in a couple of weeks. I had 3 batteries sitting out. None of them held a charge, but whatever. So we're going to do it this way. So you guys see here my 04 right in the background, right? The truck I said I would never sell because of all the regulations and whatnot going on. You know, the 12-valve swap, so we don't have to worry about anything going on with the ELD. We can run paper logs. We can do all this and that. Well, I'm here to tell you I got a surprise for you in this video. So I was parting it out. I got the money for some of the parts. I put all the rest of the parts back on it that I had that were still good. So we got the front bumper on. We are waiting. The last thing that needs to be done to this thing, I am waiting on the valve covers from Anthony. So these valve covers we're gonna go to Anthony because he already bought them, and then we're just gonna put the stock valve covers and stock front breather back on, which would make this so much, basically it would be still complete. The only things really missing from this thing were the alternator and the starter. Still has batteries. This thing will still fire up. You throw a starter in it. It's not like the best in the world. It definitely needs that head gasket, but this is pretty much the truck here. She is officially sold, being picked up in like 3 or 4 weeks. And you guys saying you want me to go back to Hotshot, you know, we're gonna be going out. I have a surprise for you in the next video. If it's not the next video, it's the video after that because I haven't gotten prepared yet. But in the next video or the next one after that, we do have a surprise for you. Other than me going back to Hotshot for 2 weeks straight, we also have a new truck that you guys are not going to expect at all whatsoever, because it is not one that I have ever told you guys about. So like I was saying with this thing, everything's all complete. I wanted to get out here, clean everything up a little bit. I got all of the interior bits and pieces back in. There's the front hubs, all of the new lugs are up there. Everything, like I said, if you throw a starter and an alternator in this thing basically fires right up and is running and driving. Unfortunately, with the engine issue, I don't recommend it, so I don't know what the future plan entails with this thing. Basically, you fix the engine head gasket issue and you have a good running truck, throw some front brakes on it and stuff, and it's a good running truck. So definitely get you from point A to point B. It got me all over the country. Take care of it, it'll do what you need to do. The front end's been replaced. Pretty much everything. Transmission, rear end's been replaced. Drive shaft's been custom built. I did just put a new U-joint in it. We threw the mirrors on it. We got all that stuff. So factory windows, no tint. Oil filter down below. Could be replaced with a fast, but all in all, it was a decent truck for the abuse that I ended up putting it through. And it still runs, drives, and just, it'll do whatever it needs to do. That's pretty much it. So this thing's not really dead, and I know it has a ton of miles on it, and I know there was a lot of neglect on this thing when I was running it. I told you guys this was going to be an experiment truck. I put the 12 of in it. I ran the shit out of it, as I told you guys I did. It allowed me to be on YouTube for a full year. I loved the truck, but it came to the point where I'm just overly tired of working on something that's going to constantly be leaking. And there are times, like, yes, it would be nicer to have a new truck, but there are times where a lot of it is my fault, and that's basically from experimenting. So all the knowledge that I was able to take from this truck and move over to customer trucks, basically don't use the same cheap, shitty parts that I used on this one as somebody else's. But I mean, at the end of the day, it still runs, drives. We found out what works, what doesn't. Everything in this engine, like the P pump is still good. Everything around it, I put new, pretty much everything is new in this thing. Maybe slap a head gasket in it and call it a day, and maybe it's good. It doesn't knock. It doesn't make any noises when you fire it up. It literally just is mixing coolant and oil. So that's my main concern with the thing, is that you replace that, it might, you know, you might get another couple 100,000 miles out of it, or the bearings could be shot, who knows. But it doesn't knock anymore. So I'm wondering if we were to throw a head gasket in it, if the thing were to still, stupid, those things are getting obnoxious, if it'll just run for a long time. I don't know what the plans are with the truck. Hopefully it gets put back to work and is used as a decent truck. You know, it needs little body works here and there. This is really the only mark on the truck right here. This is from the semi, but everything else, like everything's straight. You know, there's minor, you know, minor scratches here and there, but there's no real dents in this truck. You guys will see, like, it's a full straight body. There's no dents, there's no dings. It's all just scratches, obviously from the old fender flares. I don't know if his plans are to put fender flares on. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he's going to put it back to a 2500. I have no idea. That's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I am excited for him to come and pick it up, just to get this out of here, because then we're going to be working on this one next up here. I posted this one with the transmission. I don't have a torque converter for it, but it is a running truck. It doesn't drive, it goes in reverse. And then the frame back here, I have the title, the VIN plates, all that stuff for this thing. So if anybody wants that, just let me know. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. That camper's good for storage. That one we're gonna go burn, and then the one back there I got sold as well. There you go. You guys wanted an update. I'm gonna show you guys the front interior of this thing as well. So if we get back in the truck here, we sit in here, you can see it's a complete interior. We have the radio, we're missing door panels, speakers, and actually, I think that's about it. These were from the old mirrors, so and rather than pulling all that out, I might just get new wires for the mirrors on the other truck. But it is all complete. All the gauges still work, minus the overhead. But all in all, I guess I do still need to get my stuff out of here. But besides that, you know, it's all done. It's ready to go. There's all the paperwork for the white truck, NV 5600 two-wheel drive, still has a mechanical shutoff, the high idle switch that I don't have hooked up. Yeah, I also have the batteries disconnected, but it's all done. We did update to 4 spots here. Main reasoning, I want to explain that to you guys as well, because I know I got the comment and I answered one, but pretty much the state of Pennsylvania, we have highest shit taxes. It is a shitty state to be a business owner in. So rather than me going and buying land in Pennsylvania, I really don't want to commit to this state. We are working on a bunch of things that can get us out of Pennsylvania maybe in a few years, but I definitely don't want to commit to this state. And also all the prices are rising. I would hate to buy right now when prices are on a high and then just get completely shit on a couple of years down the road. So the nice thing about this is me renting here is a tax write-off. It's land that I'm using for my business, and that's why it's ultimately worth it. If I wasn't getting the tax write-off benefit from it, then it wouldn't be worth it. But it's the same thing with we own our home, but we rent the land that's there. That's also that's a tax write-off as well, because my business address unfortunately is my house. I wasn't able to make that the P.O. box, but tax write-off purposes, it really does work out, and it's great, and all of the legalities are there. So there's a reason I do some of the things the way that I do them. Not everything makes sense. Some things are dumb, but I feel like for tax standards like that, that does make sense. So stick around. You guys will see the new truck this coming week, actually. I'm pretty sure it'll be this week, but that's pretty much there for you. So the reason I'm also doing this way, so this was the storage rig. We're going to be moving everything over into that, and the barrels need to go with Anthony once he comes around. He should be here probably in like 3 weeks or so, but this is going to make a hell of a bonfire. Can't wait to get that burnt. And then all my storage stuff, I'll show you guys what we have going on in here. All these tools I need to take with us, but I got the headache rack, the wheel simulators, the subwoofers. I got a spare tip-em if anybody needs it. And just a bunch of other little odds and ends in here. This is pretty much, like I said, the storage truck. Ends with the new truck. I'm gonna try to be as controversial as possible while still making good business decisions, because I've noticed lately I've been doing things that have been irritating the no-lifers, and what I've noticed from that is that with all of that, you get guys in the comments that want to fight back and forth, and my views have, I think I'm up like 40,000 views this month from doing so. So I'm gonna keep trying to go on with that. So the guys that have been here for a long time, if you guys see it and don't know why I'm doing it, that is exactly why right there, is because it is bringing in a killer amount of views. Like my ad revenue jumped from like $600 to I think it's like 950 this month. So if we can keep going with that and get the YouTube ad revenue back up to like the $1,500 to $2,000 mark, that would be great, because now let's do a flashback here. So you guys know that I had my legal troubles a couple years ago. We got everything taken care of. Everything is gone, done for. I've paid several tens of thousands of dollars. All of that shit's paid off. Now I have one more financial burden that I need to take care of. This was a voluntary repo a while back, and unfortunately, partly my fault, but couldn't afford to take care of all of that on the spot. So now I got hit with it. It was a $9,300 bill. It's just a voluntary repo, nothing wrong, no legal problems there. It just went to collections. So the good thing about that is that'll be able to help build my credit, because if it's in collections, they said that they are reporting that to the credit bureau every month that I'm making the payment. But the payment every month is $793 on a truck that I don't even have anymore. So it's just a voluntary repo. It's nothing legal. Nobody's suing me. None of that shit. It's just PSECU's the bank that I was using my loans through. It's just one of those things where we just get it taken care of. It is the last financial burden of my life. And then everything's good from there on out. But for the next year, I think I gotta net, I think like $7,000 a month just to break even. We're gonna be pushing hard for the next year. So let's just put it that way. If I'm not posting a little bit, sorry about that, but we are going to be getting back into Hotshot to I'm basically forced to do it, but the way that we are going to be doing it, you guys will see, it'll make sense. But next video, stick around for that. Oh man, the guys have been saying I wish you'd get back to Hotshot. You guys aren't going to be disappointed. So hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video. Quick little update. Appreciate you guys. Go down and check out Mudflap, and I will be back with a serious video next week. And for the next 2 weeks, you guys are getting some good content, because this is stuff I haven't even done before, and there's going to be a lot of experiments. Some mistakes are going to be made. Stick around. See ya.